Now, to talk us through this and to give us more about space cooperation between Russia and China, also about recent joint declarations and their strategic goals, we are joined from Beijing by Mr. Nader Huan, a writer and political analyst, and joining us from Moscow, Mr. Sedki Zaher, who's a Russian affairs researcher. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us here on Q News. Mr. Huan, I'll start with you. So what does this Tianwen-2 asteroid mission by China say about China's broader strategy to compete in deep space exploration?
Yes, let me explain that Tianwen-2 is the Chinese mission to explore the asteroid Tianwen because it's the second of the mission of Tianwen. And Tianwen first one is launched in 2002 in July to landing on the Mars. And Tianwen-2 is expected to be launched in May next month this year. It will be a new round mission for China. This mission is not just a simple asteroid mission, but also a crucial step for China's future Tianwen-3 Mars sample return mission. It will take the samples from the asteroid and will do all the preparation for the Tianwen-3 mission, which is to take the samples from the Mars directly. And China, and also with China and Russian have signed the agreement in March 2021 to build a research station on Mars. And this is what the Tianwen mission do.
So big ambitions for China. I'll come to you, Mr. Zaher. What do you think are the specific contributions that Russia could make, especially to the International Lunar Research Station, perhaps, especially amid economic constraints, perhaps, in Russia right now?
Good afternoon to your esteemed audience. Russia has a great expertise of even the Mars planet and research and exploration. And there is an aside that should be focused. To regain the Russian experiment to do some shuttling to several planets in the Soviet Union and sending some images of different planets to the Earth and building the first space station named Salute in 1998. But the Soviet Union experience selected several factors to continue such development. Most important, not to repeat the Soviet Union experience in scientific research. And the reason of domination of US is that transfer this project to a trade project. If you look at the space trip, Russia was the most country to launch space trips, and the United States gradually to be the most trips through the SpaceX agency specifically compared to the Chinese expertise. With benefit of the investment, China has great resources in the aspect of manufacturing, And Russia, that has some specific science in reaching Mars and different other planets and building existing stations on the moon. So the Russian experience that needs some specific momentum of the investment sector in China due to the greater progress in the last 10 years, and very mentioned in the satellite. USA had some sort of 400 and more, and now is more than 3,000, and more than 70% from X stations that produced Starlink and other projects. So the investment in the field of space economically, that should require collaboration between the two powers, and not to create a great gap in the investment sectors. And militarily, I think the US have already taken great steps towards the development of the humanity, but the economic side was some sort of it had some sort of neglections before.
Okay, and coming back to you, Mr. Huan, there in Beijing, the International Lunar Research Station, I believe China is due to start work on that in the next few years. Role does that play in helping China to reshape the global space governance versus US-led initiatives like Artemis?
Firstly, China want to complete this mission, and Tianwen-3 and Tianwen-4 by the year 2030. And also China want to do the cooperation with all the countries and welcome all the countries to cooperate with China in doing scientific experiments and projects, and also especially with Russia, and because Russia has is a leading country in this field and have a lot of successful experiences. And also China also want, if any countries are interested in cooperate with China in this field, including the United States, China will welcome that, and because China want to explore the space and use it peacefully, and China don't want to do any geopolitical competition with any country in the space, and want to all the projects China do is to serve as a vital platform to explore deep space for the human beings, and to make the contributions to the progress in this field.
And coming back to you, Mr. Zaher, how credible would you say these plans are of Putin, these grand plans for Moon and Mars exploration? Of course, Russia has long been an expert in space exploration, but you are relying, I believe, on some quite old technology. You have the Soyuz systems that date back to the 1960s.
I do not think so. The issue in reaching the moon is in place. We're talking an effective technology. We're talking about a space program such as Luna that started by Luna 24 in 1976 to come back to the moon, that had some sort of 170 grams of the moon, that in the 76 the USSR was able to reach the moon. And of course, in a specific expertise regarding the investment operations and acquiring materials between Russia and China. But science is in place. If someone is able to go up to the moon, so why not to repeat it? With all due respect for all those working in that field from China and the American space stations Salute started in 1986 to 2001. China had managed to build international space station in the early of the 20th at around 11 years. So the space of the progress between China and Russia, such as SpaceX and Elon Musk, made some multiple functional missiles, and the USA was the pioneer to cooperate and to make allies with Russia to build the International Space Station there, and participated the trip with EU and Canada along with Russia, and did not let China to do so. But what happened in 2016 was a scientific breakthrough by USA, and it seems that it could be used for trade purposes, and it is supposed for China and Russia to re-coordinate with such a display. And USA rejected the inter-China in 2011, that the China to build the International Space Station to starting from 2021. And the work extended to 2000, and the third cooperation between Russia and China is the old Soviet technology, but still operative throughout the past 50 years, but need to develop the cooperation and, most importantly, the process of funding, as the budget is bigger compared to China that developed since the 70s. So the cooperation should be by the China scientifically and technologically. This is affirmed by Dmitry, the chief of the investment Russia fund, that do not participate with Elon Musk in the space trips that happened following the Ukraine-Russian crisis. The cooperation is a must, but historically the USA is approaching countries if they wish that they have interest in doing. If they do not so they taking a sole resolution by itself.
Okay. And when it comes to the politics of these matters, Mr. Huan, could Chinese partnerships with Europe, you've got a particular partnership, of course, with Italy, could that undermine or maybe complement its collaboration with Russia?
I think in this field, China is opening for cooperation with any countries. We can see that the Chinese space station, there are many kinds of technology and equipments from there are from Italian and from Switzerland, and also there are cooperation with Russian and also with Egypt and also Bahrain and the Middle East countries. And I think the joint efforts to explore the space will bring the biggest benefits for all the parties. And in the mind of in Chinese mind, this is essential to cooperate to explore the space.
And Mr. Zaher, I mean, Russia has amazing historic achievements in space. Why has Russia chosen to partner with China instead of pursuing maybe an independent space project?
Certainly, Russia Certainly, Russia had an independent project, particularly the Soviet Union, in the field of military, but the idea is specifically the Soviet economy that was focused in a set of projects and a way of developing projects such as SMEs, and isn't able to make the food industry. So they had a problem of the structure of the Soviet Union that has a great amount of information in a specific sector, but they're not able to produce consumer goods. So the reconstruction of Russia took a long time, and refocusing in all the consuming industries, and Russia knew to return on the line of the world countries in the other fields, such as militarily and economically. Therefore, we are living in a crisis of fundraising, particularly in 2014, when the agreement being signed, Russia being a part of the world economy by or through Russian countries. But Russia has shifted to another model of the economic isolation and directed to manufacture aircraft, civil aircraft of complete components of Russia, throughout all the Russian components. Russia has always made a specific progress with the cooperation towards those countries and impose economic sanctions against Russia as trying to invest in the industrial independence. But we are living in a different world that requires cooperation, so we cannot live on the Russian oil. Russia also is in dire need of the Chinese expertise in different sectors, such as the electronic chips that produce the AI production, that Russia is largely having a great expertise. As particularly we are living in a capital world, should be aware of the lock-in or closed model of economy that been practiced during the Soviet Union.
And when it comes to this space cooperation, Mr. Huan, is China's space cooperation with Russia purely scientific, or is there perhaps a little strategic move to try and counterbalance Western dominance?
In my opinion, that the cooperation between China and the Russian don't aim to any third part and third countries, and are not affected by any third country. But I think the cooperation between China and Russia will not destroy the cooperation between China and other countries. It will not affect each other, and also this will China emphasize that the space is not a place for the geopolitical competition or battle for the geopolitical competition. So that I think it's a scientific cooperation more than the geopolitical product. But also this cooperation between China and Russia can also defend for its interest if the United States want to board the two countries.
Okay, well, thank you very much. It's been a very interesting discussion. I'd like to thank both of my guests today, Nader Huan, who is a writer and political analyst joining us from Beijing, And from Moscow, Sedki Zaher, a Russian affairs researcher. Thank you very much, both of you, for being here on Q News.